Hello and welcome. You are here for episode 116 of the Nearly Men Video Games Podcast, coming to you live on Twitch from Scotland on Thursday, 29th September 2022. Yes, I am Blunder87 and joining me tonight is Paul Kaczynski.
Ahoy, hoy!
And together with Colin_NM, we are the Nearly Men. And this episode of the podcast is brought to you by executive producer Hamster Boy. We have nothing to do with the video games industry. We don't make them, we don't sell them, and we're not even particularly good at them. We are the Nearly Men, and at some point you have probably kicked our asses online. I can't read.
That's unbelievable. I mean, when will we get it right?
I just started to read the year and I was like, how many 20s am I saying? I was like, 20. I almost just said 22.
Oh, did it?
And
Have I added that in there?
No, it was me. I started 20 and I was like, did I say 2 now or did I say another 20? My brain just was like, bleh.
Oh, good lord. Good lord. That's what kind of episode it's going to be, people. We can't
Absolutely.
say 2s.
How are you?
I'm good.
Are you good? So I was just like,
Blunder forgot his host in there.
I did. Colin being gone has mixed up the cycle. Although I'm pretty sure it's going to be me anyway. He's away in dad duties.
Yay! Congratulations.
I think he's been off retired.
I don't blame him. Sophie was born on the 20th of September, wasn't it?
I knew it was going to be that day. I had a feeling.
I had a feeling he did.
I did. So remember when Colin said, we know the date, but we're not telling people in advance. I was like, it's the 20th of September. I just, and then, so, Blunder Girl 90, my sister.
Blunder Girl 90, I like it.
That's her name. She's born the 20th of September and she was wild, so I was like, good luck.
Danger.
That's it. I just texted, good luck.
Danger.
Although she's on holiday, she went on holiday herself to Portugal for like 5 days, because it's her birthday, obviously on the 20th of September, and she shared a post on her Instagram, and it was just her lying on the beach, and I never thought I'd see the day where she was lying on the beach with 2 apples, a bottle of water, and a book.
Oh,
I was like,
days.
I didn't even know you could read. I was like, that's gross.
What scared me though is I've now worked out her age in my head, and I can't cope with you being the age you are, but that's even worse. Blunder.
She'd have been what, 9?
Oh my days.
10. When you probably met her like a show or something when she was in the audience, shy and
just a wee lassie. Oh my gosh, that's unreal.
I know.
Well, I'm old.
You are old.
Right.
Wait, you're not that old. Like, you're almost there.
Oh, jeez Louise, man. Almost there. On my way out.
At work today, I was taught about education systems. I mean, like, I said, like, when I was back in school 20 years ago, and then just always threw myself out the window. I was like, oh.
So when you start talking about 20 years ago, that's when you feel old. Right? Anything up to that, you kind of go, all right, I'm all right. But when something becomes 20 years ago, that's a lifetime away. And
I said it without even thinking. And then when it came out, I was like, oh, I really do know how old I am. So that just rolled off the tongue. That 20 years ago when I was at your age in school, I was like,
tell me something you did 20 years ago. Like some marker. Put you on the spot, to be fair.
15.
What did you do when you were 15?
What year's that? 4th year? Oh gosh. So 4th year, and I won't say the name of this, but you know this. 4th year when I was at school, I decided to date a boy in the drama class's younger sister. Whose family was involved in the arts, let's put it that way.
Right, yes.
And always get my ass kicked. And the irony being that when we were on the date, she turned around and went, I think my big brother's gay. I was like, oh, really?
Oh, no.
That's what I was doing 20 years ago. Confusing teenage girls.
Dear me, aye.
What were you doing 20 years ago?
20, what, oh gosh, 20 years ago. Oh my days. I mean, I was then in adult life, which just merges into one. Gosh, 23 it would have been. That's mental. I've just noticed Evil Monkey putting in the chat that Elvis died at 42. So I've beat Elvis.
Hey!
I remember when I got to 34, I went, I beat Jesus. And then got to 43, we beat Elvis. That's good.
Aye.
God, I'm not far away from Elvis, mind you. That's worrying. Jesus. Oh, my days. I don't know what I was doing at 23. I dread to think.
Your early 20s are just like a clump of drinks.
Aye.
Drinks, nights out, and bad decisions.
Amen, sister.
Oh, and if anyone out there, God forbid, would like to tell us what you were up to 20 years ago.
Yes.
Oh. But actually do, yeah. Let us know what you were doing 20 years ago.
You
and if anyone says they were just a sparkle in their dad's eye, you're getting banned. But
oh my days, there's so many people that are.
I know. Here's how you can contact us.
Reaching the Nearly Men is easier than ever. Search for the Nearly Men Video Games podcast on iTunes, Spotify, YouTube, or your preferred podcast player. We stream on Twitch. Follow Colin at Colin_NM. Follow Paul at Paul Kaczynski, all one word. Follow Blunderboy at Blunderboy87. And let's get social on Facebook as The Nearly Men, Twitter and Instagram where we are at Nearly Men, or go old school and email us on info@thenearlymen.com. Need all that again? Links are on our website, thenearlymen.com. So what are you waiting for?
So yeah, get in touch. Let us know what you were doing 20 years ago. Actually, if you can remember, what games were you playing 20 years ago? So what was I, 15? So that's 2002. So it was the PS2 GameCube era. Ooh, that was a good era. So I was probably right on the Resident Evil 0, Resident Evil Remake, and then my PS2, probably Final Fantasy X-2 at 2002, maybe? Probably roughly about that time. So that was a very much my, though that was my glory year of gaming. I think the PS2 is still my favourite era of video games.
I think I was probably playing Tiger Woods a lot, if I remember rightly. The Xbox. Would the Xbox have been out? Yeah, it would have been, yeah.
Yeah.
And probably Galaxies about that time as well, maybe.
Gosh,
maybe a wee bit early for Galaxies.
Speaking of Galaxies, do you know that they're bringing that back?
Well, I saw somebody done a kind of community version of it.
I seen a tweet about it and I was like, ooh, and I was like, Paul's got too much, is it?
I know, because random bloke got in touch with me about it, and we're going to try and get on it, but I've just not had a chance to properly look at it.
It'd be interesting to see how they do it, because that's when I played that as well.
Yeah.
That was fun. I was a medic.
You're a medic.
So I'll heal you from over here.
It'd be horrible just to join it, just to see how bad it actually was. That way, when you look at a game you thought was brilliant, and that you go, no.
Do you know, thankfully, most games I go back and play aren't like that. I don't think I've ever really gone back and gone, oh my gosh, that game has aged terribly, or that game was dreadful. I've been pretty good at like whittling out the badgings.
It's because it's just Resident Evil. It's just all Resident Evil.
Resident Evil, Final Fantasy. That's it. And just games like those games from that time period.
2003, Evil Monkey tells us that Galaxy was out, so I was a wee bit early.
So what did you do before that? What would it be out?
Just waited for it.
Waited just in. Oh, do you know you're probably playing the kind of tactical RPG one that used to beat me at all the time?
Oh, the RTS one.
Yeah.
Gosh, what was that? That was Star Wars. It wasn't the Force Commander. It wasn't that one. It was Battlegrounds.
Oh, that was fun.
Battlegrounds.
That was good.
That was great fun.
I was getting too absorbed in collecting berries. Then it's like, oh no, I'll get blown up.
Collecting berries.
I was like, look at the berries; they're so pretty and red. But let's get back to modern days. Before we get into our news, remember,
segue there. We
have Nearly Men merch available if you would like to stay warm this winter.
Well done.
That's a tagline. You can go to printbunker.co.uk/collection/the Nearly Men. And actually, original Stephen sent me a picture the other day, like, I'm wearing you. And I was like, excuse me?
Excuse me, what?
And it had this lovely Nearly Men t-shirt on the other day. So, and send the pictures in, and we'll do a collage.
Excellent.
A collage of costumes.
We're very tired, everybody.
We're very tired.
Leave them alone.
Don't pick me out. I'm just telling you before we went live, I've come back to GTRP, and the past 2 days when I've been in trying to say things, I'm just saying all the wrong words. I'm like, it's been a year, I'm a bit rusty. Oh. So news. Two interesting stories I found, quite relevant, and I'm really sad Colin's not here for this first time.
I know.
So much to no one's surprise, and actually probably surprised it took so long. The Stadia is officially dead.
Aye, it was only a matter of time.
I mean, it took 5 years. I thought it would have gone a lot sooner.
I'll come back to it. You tell us the story.
The brief details, I won't go into the big details. Google did release a statement, and this is me just paraphrasing it, but the Stadia store and the platform is being closed. They are refunding everything.
Oh,
so they're refunding everyone's money for hardware and software bought in it.
Oh, I kind of wish I got it now.
I don't know, and people expected maybe like in the last 6 months, maybe the last year, everything. So if you spent money on the Stadia, they're like, have it back. They're hoping to have all refunds processed by mid to end January.
Wow.
2023. And the refund will go through the Stadia store. I don't know if that means you've got like credit in the Google store. I don't know if you can then withdraw to your wallet, but that's how they're doing it. So it won't just like ping into your bank account. It'll appear in a Google store version. It is remaining open until January the 18th, 2023, just for people to finish off any games they're midway through. I think will be a lot of people. But that's the crux. And they did say this thing. They were like, and Stadia. They said something like Stadia is such a technologically advanced program, and I was like, they kind of admitted they were maybe kind of bit the bullet too soon and launched it too soon. But they're going to use like the bones and the stuff they developed in Stadia to better their other programs like YouTube and other Google things.
Sure. So
that was kind of like their big 18 paragraphs at the end. It's like, we've heard interesting stuff before. Yes, another one bites the dust.
What's interesting is I remember when Stadia launched, I was listening a lot to the Kinda Funny podcast with Greg Miller and team, and there was a great divide in the Kinda Funny team about streaming games. But like stream services, and they were arguing about it, and I remember somebody saying they'll do it for 5 years. They'll do it for five, no matter what. They will do it for 5 years because they've got that kind of money where they can sink it into it, and they will try it for 5 years, and if they can't get it to work in 5 years, they'll just pull it really quickly, and that's what's happened. As if you knew.
Well, because they've literally gone, we're ending it. You get 3 months. Bye.
Yeah. That's unreal.
It's like the reverse. You can go home, uninstall it today, and never touch it again. That's what it's like.
Yes.
So you're gonna go home, try and boot it up. It's gonna blow up and disintegrate, and you'll think you actually never had it. I'm expecting like Mission Impossible styles to Stadia or stuff struck in 5 seconds.
What a beautiful day! What a beautiful time of my life. You can go home.
It's
and
wild.
not play it today.
Yeah, and that's kind of like what EA did the other week or the other month with their Assassin's Creed games. They're like, you can go home and they'll be out of your Steam library. Bye.
Gosh,
it's like, what? We paid money for this. You can't just yank it away. And they're like, oh, okay.
What do you mean we can't just take your money? Oh,
you want the thing you've paid for? Who would have thought?
But see, that's the interesting thing is you don't pay for anything. Like you don't own anything. So you subscribe to Netflix and your I don't know if Apple Arcade's still going and all that kind of stuff. Game Pass. You don't actually own anything. You're just renting.
Even the games you're buying, it's a digital license. Like so, I've said this before. I've moved away from physical media space to ease of access. Like I love being able to have it pre-installed and at midnight go and play it.
You can download it on your phone. You
Yeah,
go on the bus and set.
I'm at work and I'm like, oh, get that added to the list. But Baker Boy's always going about physical media, and you're kind of seeing a wee bit of that happening, especially is it Warner Brothers who've just like zapped everything. Like,
have they? Aye.
It's like, but even the DVDs have disappeared for online. I'm like, are they just sitting in a warehouse now? Like, they shall never see the light of day. It's really weird. It's a whole new world.
Them in the desert somewhere.
Aye, along with ET.
Aye. Oh, that's interesting. I had no idea Warner Bros. Had done that. Wow, that's fascinating.
It was certain animated shows, and they're just gone, and the artists and everyone involved are like, I have no version of my work. I have no, because it's all done digitally. They don't. Well, don't have DVD releases, or I don't have any evidence in this great thing I worked on at some point in my life and dedicated years I worked at. It's just
that's mental. I like a physical thing. I'm like you. I'm moving to digital, and I'm happy with digital and all that. Yeah, and I don't mind like paying for Netflix and watching my TV that way and my films that way. But I do also like a box. I like the appreciation of a box, and I love when something's done really well, and you know. You know, like I always talk about my Battle Royale Blu-ray that I've got because it's a work of art, and inside it's so well crafted and well chosen pieces of memorabilia in it and all that, and as a package, it's just such a beautiful thing. But in the same breath, I love the idea of just having a film digitally that I just stream and I don't store it. I don't have to find it. Things like that.
It's weird. It's interesting balance. The other bit of news which I saw, which it's interesting because none of it doesn't like affect us, but it seems to be kind of causing hot bother in the world of FPS. The Overwatch 2 time sync nightmare. So for those who don't know, Overwatch 2 is coming out soon, much to a grumbling of people who are still like, I thought we were boycotting Blizzard. And it's changing its whole business model.
We've just forgotten about that now. We just
a wee bit. It's like so. Overwatch 2 is going free to play.
Right.
But it's not actually a separate game. It's Overwatch 1 built over the top of it.
Aye. I remember this.
So if you own Overwatch, it just does like an update on it.
Right, okay.
And if you own those characters and stuff, you're going to have them going in. But if you're new, this is where the time sync network comes in.
Right.
So it's going to be free to play, but the characters are gated behind events such as, well, one of the gameplay modes is gated as well. So to get into competitive mode, you need to win 50 other types of game.
Right.
And then you'll have to play approximately 100 games to unlock all the heroes. A game can run 15 to 20 minutes.
Ooh.
So if you're wanting to try a character out, and I don't know if it's randomized. I don't know how they're doing it. So, and they've got this new system called the FTUE system. It's called First Time User Experience Mode, and it's meant to help ease new players in. But to me, it just sounds like a really long tutorial. And their direct quote from the statement was, "This focused experience eases new players into the world of Overwatch by teaching them about different modes, rules, and other high-level aspects of the game in an approachable way." But really, it feels like it's just like, well, you're going to have to keep doing all our tutorials and play 100 hours to the character you want. And then their newest character, the big draw to the OG fans, and probably new people like, oh, their new character is locked behind a battle pass, and they don't unlock till level 55, and the battle pass costs $10.
Okay.
Now, if you're thinking, I'll just go buy Overwatch 1 and unlock the characters, because then when they build on top of it, I'll have everything. Overwatch 1 can't be bought anymore. What they are doing is they're offering, it's a version, it's not called Overwatch, it's called something Watch. And that's $40. And if you buy that, it will prepare you for Overwatch 2. So is Overwatch 2 really free to play? It depends if you have 100 hours to sink in to try and unlock characters, or you pay for the unlock version, which then it's not really free to play. And then you've got your battle pass to get the good stuff. They have moved away from loot boxes, so there is a positive. And they had a bunch of other changes, which to me, I was like, I don't know what that means. I don't play Overwatch that much. But it's interesting watching the business practice dynamic switch. Like what worked for them before, and they're like switching around, and it's falling in line with lots of things like Dead by Daylight, Sea of Thieves, Fortnite with these battle pass options.
Yeah.
And that's where you're getting your new content.
It seems everything's got a battle pass these.
Disney Dreamlight Valley has a battle pass.
Aye.
We're at the battling.
You Suck at Parking has a battle pass.
What?
It's just, I mean, it's certainly better than loot boxes. Do you know what I mean?
Aye, I would say
certainly a step in the right direction.
Better than loot boxes because you're seeing what you can get and you can work towards it. And
you can choose.
The good thing is, so in Dead by Daylight, original Stephen looked at what you can get in the premium Rift, which is the one you pay for, and he was like, I don't want any of that. So he never bothered buying it. And then the good thing is, even if you finish it, you can go, actually, maybe I do want it, and you can buy it.
And that's you just catch up, don't you? Is there a battle pass that exists where you pay to play, essentially? All the battle passes I can think of off the top of my head are all cosmetic. Is there a battle pass, you think, where it enhances your ability to play? I can't think
that I know of. I can't either. Everything just seems to be like cosmetic.
Even Call of Duty and all that, they're all just cosmetics, aren't they?
Because then you'd run the risk of driving away your core fans who don't want to spend more money.
That's the thing. So that's getting rid of the loot boxes.
Yeah.
Having this pay to play.
Yeah.
It gives you. It's now a choice. It's a choice whether you want to spend money on it to get extra goodies.
Because Blunder husband, he plays lots of Wii games on his phone, and he always gets to the point where you get to the level where everyone's just buying the gear, and he doesn't want to spend money, so he just gives up. Starts a new game. And he's like, it always happens. You get to it's almost the exact same. You can pretty much count the time, how many hours, 12 hours in. Here we go, gonna hit that wall, and it's like, oh, you keep dying. If you had some of this, you'd be better. And he's like, nope, goodbye.
Yeah.
But no,
it's interesting.
Does FIFA have a battle pass?
No, but it's pay to. Well, it's not pay to play. That's unfair. I'm going to talk about it later on. But the Ultimate Team, your way to sink money into FIFA.
Because thingy, even that dodgeball game had like a battle pass.
That's right. So did I.
Like it just seems to be the new thing to not milk the fans because it's optional. I think that's what you think. You don't need it, but it can be fun.
I think it's dangerous for younger kids, where all your pals have got it.
Aye.
You know what I mean? So your pals have got the latest skin or whatever, and you don't. And I think that could lead to danger. But
the one thing is, I'm pretty sure all battle passes do this. Is I know Dead by Daylight and Disney's does. When you buy it, say it costs Dead by Daylight costs $1,000 excels, so you buy it, but throughout the pass you gain those sales back. So then when the next one comes out, you just really you've paid for it once, and then you just
aye, but you've got to play the game.
Yeah, you've got to play it to get through it. So that's quite interesting because then you could be like, I'm just going to play it to get the money back to buy the next one.
Yeah.
So there is that aspect of we're only asking them to pay a tenner once. It's up to them if they don't do it.
Then they don't play it, so they don't get all the coins, so they have to pay again.
Pay a wee bit more. Yeah,
it's the whole thing. It's a subscription method. How many people have got a subscription to Netflix or Prime or whatever like that don't really use it, and they don't get rid of it because they go, oh, well, I might watch something.
I might just.
But it just sits there. Your Game Pass will be the same.
On my Game Pass, I'm like, oh, hi.
Sorry, I'm using the amount I play on Game Pass is working for you. It'll balance out.
Yes. Although with Grounded full version release, I'll be back on that. So
yes, you like that, didn't you?
I did, and that's the full version with all the story implemented and stuff like that. And no creepy crawlies. I think one of the quotes is, "Why would they add more spiders?"
Aye.
I was like, yes.
Horrible.
But yeah, so two interesting bits of news, which, as I said, didn't really affect us, but it's interesting seeing how the gaming world is taking them on in the
I think it's
conversations around them.
It's a fair point. It is a kind of a general situation at the moment.
Yeah, because the way everything is, they could affect lots of different games and services that are currently provided.
Yeah.
Would you like to hear some subbies?
Would I?
Here we go.
Subbies,
So our game.
Subbies. I forgot.
Oh, you can do it for loads now that Colin's not here. Actually, should we change the name now that Colin's not here for a while?
I'll call it Freebies.
Freebies. Our Game Pass editions on the 29th of September. That's today. You're getting Valheim. Valheim on the PC. The 30th of September. Oh, I'm so excited for this. Paw Patrol Grand Prix on console, PC, and cloud.
Boy's going to blow his nut, by the way.
I love the grip that Paw Patrol has on children in the world.
It's unreal, man.
It's amazing. Like, Doug's in uniforms, who would have thought? And 11th of October, you can get Coral Island on the PC and Evil on console and PC. Your games with gold. Oh, here we go. September 1st to the 30th, Gods Will Fall. September 16th to the 30th, Portal 2. And September 16th to October 15th, Double Kick Heroes. Then from October 1st to the 31st, you're getting Windbound. And October 16th to November 15th, Bomber Crew Deluxe Edition. Over on the PlayStation side of town, we don't have our PlayStation Plus or Extra Premium editions yet because they kind of come halfway through the month and land by the end. So it's a funny system. But your PlayStation Plus Essential games, you've still got time to get September's, don't you?
Yeah, I think so. It's still be next week.
Yeah. So 2M on PS5, Need for Speed Heat on PS4, and Grand Blue Fantasy Versus on PS4. And in October, when it changes, you can get Hot Wheels Unleashed. It's very good. It's very fun. I'm not a racing game fan, but it's fun. Injustice 2, which is so much fun.
Great fun.
And Super Hot.
Super Hot.
Injustice 2 and Super Hot are PS4 games, which will run on PS5. Hot Wheels Unleashed is PS5 only. Those are good games for PlayStation.
It's alright, isn't it?
September's are a bit, but October's are good. They're quite party-esque, maybe for like your Halloween parties. You can race, you can fight, you can dodge bullets.
Super Hot's a great game.
Have you played it in VR?
Aye, that's how I played it.
Yeah, Daddy Punk, when he gets in the headset, you can't get with it. He gets really annoyed and he gets really competitive, and it's so funny watching him dance a bit, try to batter all the folk. It's great. Oh,
very good. Very good. Me?
What you been playing?
Well,
you've got like a wee Hoffa review, don't you?
I've got Hoffa review. That's a good description. Aye. The good folks over at EA, the Creator Network, gave me a code for FIFA 23. It's the first time I've ever got a code for FIFA, which is static.
That's our one and done, by the way.
That's a one and done. I played it on Monday night and I played it on Tuesday for the stream, and I've played a wee bit off stream. But I also played the beta as well, which I couldn't talk about, which I can now talk about, which is good. It's really, I really like it. I think it's really good. It's I've been describing it. People always ask, is it better than last year? What's different and all that. And the best way I can describe it is it's looser. It's a looser kind of game. It's not as serious as it has been.
Okay.
It's not by any means arcadey or tongue in cheek or anything like that. But it's just not taking itself as seriously as it has in the past. So you've got things like, the sliding tackles are glorious because you go in and it just about puts the person up into the air every time. It's fun to play. That when you score a goal, the replays have got kind of overlays over them and different things like that, showing you like speed and angles and things like that. So it's not trying as hard to be totally TV presentation. It is got a wee bit of game to it, which is nice. But it's looser in that I think it's because the physics are better. So the ball physics are better, the player physics are better. So it just all flows a bit better and it's a bit more random. The ball kind of bounces about a bit more randomly as it would, and it's not so much glued to people's feet and things like that.
Good.
New things that are in it. Moments is a new thing in Ultimate Team where it's like wee challenges. So it might say you need to score with a header within 2 minutes, and you've got to go and score with a header in 2 minutes, and you get wee stars for that, and then you can use the stars to unlock packs and things like that.
Oh, that's good.
Ultimate Team is, of course, it's the main feature. I think it's like I think between FIFA, Madden, and hockey, I think EA make about $1.5 billion from Ultimate Team.
What?
Aye. That's just Ultimate Team. That's not buying the game. That's just Ultimate Team.
And do they all have Ultimate Team?
Yes, those three do. Those three do. So this is what we're saying earlier about your battle pass and things like that. It's not got a battle pass, but you can buy FIFA points. And you can buy.
Because like I've been in school and the kids are like, "Sir, can you have a pack for luck?" I'm like, oh. And some of them get pure good players, and I'm like,
well, it's really interesting. It's a seedy part of FIFA.
Oh really?
I never spend money on FIFA. I never ever spend it to get FIFA points and buy packs or that.
Spent even less this year.
I don't want indeed. I do it all through the game,
right?
Because I think that's the fun part. I think
that's the game.
It's a card collecting thing. If you just buy everything, it's no fun.
Right.
So it's a kind of seedy world where there's all sorts of kind of real life stock exchange strategies going on with the transfer market and all that.
Shut up!
I kid you not, man.
What? For a digital game?
And it's all about how to make money in FIFA and play the market and all that kind of stuff, which I'm just not interested in at all.
Like what? Make fake digital money?
Make fake digital money, yeah, for things that you can't sell for real money, which will then be taken away from you the following year.
I was going to say, do they transfer over?
No, they do not. You start from scratch.
So you've just like spent a small fortune, and they're like, and next year you're all again.
Yeah. So there's a big streamer, Bateson, who's a big FIFA streamer, and the big streamer's got the game even earlier than us, so they got it the last weekend, and they played it last weekend, and I watched a bit of him playing it, and I noticed he had something like 1 million FIFA points, so he'd very potentially like dropped £1,000 on it or something like that. I don't know what the actual amount is, but it could well be that, right?
What?
Right? So then what he does is he just buys loads of packs and opens them, so he essentially gets everybody to then sell, so he can make money to get coins to then buy more people to then sell for more money. That's not real. None of it's real, except the amount of money he's put into the FIFA points. So it's a seedy world that I am not part of with that whole thing. I just play the game, man, and earn coins through the game and buy packs from that, or unlock packs and all that thing. It blows my mind that people would spend so much money. I can kind of understand people going, oh, I want a half decent team, so I'll maybe put a wee tenner in and get some good packs.
But
bye.
You even I'm terrible. I spend money as if it's gonna self-destruct, and I've got shelves full of toys and action figures. But at least I get to look up and go, oh, look at that wee toy. That's
indeed,
so
indeed.
Whereas a grand and fake players for fake stars for buy more fake players.
What it does mean is he, on launch day, so launch day is tomorrow officially. Early access has been this week. Launch day tomorrow. Well, he's going to have the best possible team that can exist at the moment, and that's when it becomes bad because it's pay to play. You can pay as much money as you want and get this. Mm-hmm. But it's interesting because of the legislation that was put in with loot boxes and all that. It has to tell you the percentage of what are the chances of you getting it. And just out of curiosity, I looked, and one of the packs, I can't remember the exact numbers, but it was like a 95% chance the pack would have a player who's 75 or better.
Right.
There was maybe something like a 27% chance that there were going to be 82 or better.
Uh-huh.
And then I think it was 1.7 that there were going to be 85 or better. So there's a 1% chance it's going to be a top rated player.
And if you get that person who's like, I can just get that next time, it's fine, and they just keep that mentality.
It's weird, and I don't like it. And it's the online world of FIFA's, rank That is, it's nasty, and you know you can very rarely play a game online because the moment you go 3-0 up, the person will quit because there's no point in wasting the time.
I've heard that.
It takes the satisfaction out of it a wee bit. I love playing online. I love playing people. That's what I love. I don't like playing the computer that much again for FIFA. But it's disheartening when you're battering in and you can't actually win a game legitimately.
Do you know? I'm that guy who's always like, why so serious about football? It's just a game. But this is literally just a game. You're not actually in the Premier League.
Yes.
Like, you go, oh, they're so huffy.
There is esports and all that. You can make a lot of money playing FIFA. And that's the wonderful thing about it. The route to doing that is in the game. So I could get better and get to that rank and then go to esports and all that kind of thing. That's what I like about it. It's not this untouchable thing.
And their esports room.
There you
and
go.
Their BYOC, bring your own computer segment.
Like these. So that's the kind of, you know, putting that aside, that's the kind of iffy part of FIFA that's always been there. Has always been iffy. But the game
itself, there when I played FIFA 97. Thank you very much.
The game itself is really good fun. It's really good. It's got Hypermotion 2 in it, so that's an advancement on Hypermotion, which was in last year, and it's basically they've taken motion capture of a full football game. So they've had 22 players out there and motion capped them for the whole game a couple of times and all that. And they use that to animate the players and all that. And you can really see it. You saw it last year.
It looks fantastic.
It was a big jump last year. This year, it's a wee kind of tweak, and it's just that slight bit better. But last year was a big jump with that. You really noticed it. But great thing for me is the introduction of the Women's League. So they've now they put in the Women's International a couple of years ago, but it was very generic. It was just like women in there, and it was slightly modified animations. But this year they've got the Women's League from the Super League, which is in England, and the French Women's League.
Oh wow, that's excellent.
As well as International League, and they've hypermotioned women as well this year, so the animations are a lot better and all that.
Oh wow!
And it's lovely because the first game I played in the game was the Scottish women's team, and every single player had their face. It was a likeness for them, and it was lovely. So good, so good. So hopefully that can only get better. It's got crossplay, which I called. It has been working. Well, they tested it at FIFA 22, and it worked. It was really seamless for me. I've heard there's a couple of teething problems because now it was just a few modes that were crossplay. This year, everything bar one mode is crossplay. Excuse me.
Right.
Which is brilliant and really opens up the game. I have heard rumours or stories that they can play one game and then they have to leave and shut the game down and then come back in to make it work again. I don't know how true that is. That was just one person had heard. Another person said they couldn't get it to work, so I don't know as I understand, so I've not tested that yet, but the idea that the whole game more or less is crossplay. The only mode that isn't crossplay is Pro Clubs, which is arguably the one that needs to be crossplay. That's where you play one player, you're one person on the park, and you hook up with everybody. So
that's cool.
The community were a bit like, That's the
one thing you'd want to all play together,
That's the one we can't find players for. So fair play to EA, they took it on board and they went, well, let us look at it and we'll see. And there's rumours that they might get it in for Christmas and things like that. So who knows what can happen with it. What else is in it? New power shot, which is quite fun. You hold the two bumpers and shoot, and it kind of ramps up a big power shot, and that can be hilarious because if you get it right, it's great, but chances of getting it right are quite slim. It's good fun. And lastly, it's the last FIFA. It's the last FIFA.
Well, I was going to ask, when does it stop being FIFA? Is it after this year?
This is the last one. Apparently, I think this is the 30th year of it being FIFA, and this is the last one. As of next year, it'll be EAFC.
And does that mean they lose licensing to names and likenesses and stuff?
Certainly not for next year. They have basically came out and said it's going to be the same game with a different title, essentially. So they're keeping all the titles. Every now and again, a license goes. So like they lost the license for the Italian league. I don't know if it's in it this year actually.
Oh, so do they have to procure the license for all the individual leagues?
Every player. I mean, it's ludicrous. It's ludicrous. I think with some of the leagues, it's a blanket kind of thing. So the players sign up to it, and the league then sells it.
Like the Premiership League would just be like, here's our parcel sort of thing.
Basically, and then they divvy the money out between the clubs and all that kind of stuff. But there was a brouhaha a couple of years ago about Ibrahimovic, the player Ibrahimovic, who was a bit like, I never said I could be in your game.
I remember that, yes.
And he was threatening legal action and all that, and it kind of disappeared, so I don't know exactly what happened with that. But that was an instance where, the league could essentially give him permission, and he was a bit like, well, I haven't given permission. So that, I think that changed a few things.
I see.
So as far as I know, next year it will be all the same kind of licenses, the teams, because that's what I love about it. I love the licensing of it. All right, so I mean, on the whole, it's great fun. I'm going to be playing loads and loads of it as always. It's FIFA. It's mine. It's wee creeps of changes. And I think it's for the better. I think it's gradually, for the past 4 or 5 years, I've noticed it getting better, just gradually getting better and better. Certainly towards my playstyle. I think that's the thing, is that people say, it's not as good as last year, or it's not as good as FIFA 16 and all that. And I think it's due to what people like about the game. So, there'll be people who played it last year, loved it, and hate it this year because it is less simmy, it's less serious, I love it. It's much more fun. Playing the beta with Dancing Toaster was great because we're just having so much fun, because it's that bit looser and you're just having a laugh. Nothing serious, so you're going in for slide tackles and that when you shouldn't be, and just the fun you had with it. And that's, to me, that's what FIFA should be. It should be a fun thing to do. It shouldn't be this stressful, oh my god, I've got to win, I've got to do this. It should just be a laugh, and I think that's brought a wee bit of this back. So it's great. It's great fun. So I'll keep you posted.
I know, that was good for off a review.
Sorry, that was awfully long. I tried to keep it short, and I
don't laugh. It's good. It's good because it's I don't FIFA, as you know, so I'm always like, I said, it's just the same game, and I know it's not. That's a really great thing to say, but like, it's interesting to hear from someone who plays it what the changes are and what the differences are. So
I'm very lenient, as you know. I'll kind of always try and see the best in things rather than grumble about things. Yes. So it's FIFA, and it's incremental what's the word, pleasures could be. To me, it just slightly gets better and better every year. Right. I'm still of the school though that I don't think it should be a full release every year. I think it should be an Overwatch. Do you know what I mean? That's what it should do with FIFA. Even if it was every 2 years, and then it was a squad update, or a few player updates and things like that. Which I'd pay. I'd pay $20 for to have that update. But that's not the way they do it, because it's EA, so they're going to get everything they can. But I'll be interested to know what happens with the EAFC next year. I think it'll give it a wee bit of life. It'll be weird. I mean, everyone will just still call it FIFA, I would imagine. Although FIFA are trying to have their own game, the FIFA body are trying to make their own game for next year.
Love it. I love the mess that's going to be like. Between that and Pro Evolution, which is not Pro Evolution, it's something else.
eFootball now, yes.
Keep your eyes peeled for the drama there. There's nothing better than when sports games start to fight. I'm like,
I mean, I've just been destroyed. That FIFA next year will be riding on the fact it's called FIFA, and it'll be your mum who's going to buy it, thinking she's getting FIFA and it's not FIFA. And
maybe laddie wants that FIFA game, and like, does he want FIFA or does he want FIFA?
Exactly.
I don't know.
Exactly. But I think it will breathe a fresher life into it, and I think it might take off a few restraints that they maybe feel they had. I don't know. I don't know. But anyway, that's FIFA 23.
Nice. We last week did a little bit of multiplayer. We finally got me in the cockpit.
Oh man.
Of bullshit. Because we ventured through Star Citizen.
Yeah, baby.
And it was fun. It was a bit touch and go to start because I was like, I can't move.
I literally cannot move.
Yeah, I was like, I am stuttering through the hallway. And as I said, so what I did was I just left the room for 10 minutes and came back and it smoothed out. And then we went to space and stuff. It was really good. It was smooth.
It was running really well, yeah.
Fine. But you'd said cities tend to make the PCs slow down a bit. So
they do.
But no,
they do.
I had fun. It's interesting because it's a game where you can do nothing but do lots.
Yes, that's a good description. Yeah.
And we were kind of discussing that when we were doing it. It's like, there's no pressure to do things. You just exist in the world, kind of like how we go through life.
Yeah.
And there's no pressure to go do things, but there was the opportunity to do it. So it was nice. It was nice and chill, and it was good being in with you who knew what you're doing. I think if I'd tried to just do it myself, the moment I couldn't get through the corridor, I just uninstalled the game.
Yeah.
And it's so Martin, to have a time.
Aye. It definitely helps to have a wee helping hand.
I
had it on the stream when I started. I had people in stream that were helping me, and that helped me. What I keep forgetting about Star Citizen is that I'm alpha testing. I'm testing the game. That's what I keep forgetting. Because I play it, I don't test it. But I was so glad you get in. So glad.
I know it was fun. I got a pure nice fix. That guy got blown up. That was good.
That's right. Somebody attacked him.
So random. And we were like, "How's that body?" And then that guy just circling through. Just like, "You gonna shoot? Is he gonna shoot?" And then he was just doing warning shots across the hull, and I was like, "Is that someone that knows us?" And they're just being trolls. It was quite funny.
Could have been.
But no, I had a lot of fun with it. It's interesting. I think the concept's really smart. And just from the way you're talking about all the things they're thinking of adding and stuff, like, do you know what I find the most interesting? Watching a game be built.
Yeah.
You just think things, they'll go, "Oh, we need aliens, go." But you're like, "Oh, I said, oh, they're gonna add aliens." So yeah, it's gonna be a rat. And I was like, huh, a rat. But then in my head, it's like, well, that makes sense because you used to be able to do the small things before we're going to do the big things.
Yeah.
It's the same thing with the river. Like, everyone was like, "They've got the river working." And I was like, the river? But again, it's the key to unlocking the next stage of how to go. And it is a demanding game on resources.
Well, it's not optimized in any way.
That's the thing. And they're obviously trying to balance all that and see what works. It looks very pretty.
Doesn't it? It really does.
And that was me in low graphics, but as you said, you don't think that toggle works.
I generally don't notice the difference when you turn it down.
But also, it was fun. I think there's a lot of opportunity there for lots of role playing and like storylines and just like interesting ways to go.
What I love about it is it's made for people. It's made by people that want to play that kind of game. I think that's what I really like about it, and they're not constricted by anything. I think that's what's beautiful about it, and they're really open with how their process going. They release videos and all that, and Q&As. They do that all the time, and it just seems to be that the people at the top are a bit like, let's just make this game as ludicrously large scale as we can. Just don't have any restriction to your imagination of what we can do. And just lets the devs play and just think of what, if I was playing this game, what would I want to do, rather than someone going, well, we can't do that because we wouldn't be able to finish that in a year and it needs to be out within a year and a half. And it just seems to be that kind of freedom they've got, where they, the one of the things I love when they do the videos is they talk about they'll be talking to a certain department and they'll go, so we're putting this into it. So at the moment, the big thing is persistent entity streaming. Which
you're talking about that. Yeah,
it's kind of one existing world kind of thing. And what the exciting thing was, they were saying, we don't know what this is going to do to other teams, so we're putting this in, and then suddenly another team might go, oh well, if we can do that with that, then it means we could do this, and it's things that we haven't even thought of yet. It was just the excitement of them talking about that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. It makes me think of like Minecraft in space.
I mean, potentially it could be. Potentially it could be.
Oh, 2 seconds.
Blunder's.
Yeah, it's me.
Blunder's
I think
fell down a rabbit hole.
it's my OBS. So I'm here vocally, but physically it's struggled. I don't know what's going on. The whole computer just like flashed. I was like, oh no. Don't worry. Everyone knows I look beautiful. You can play anything else besides Star Citizen?
Do you know? I'll very briefly. I'll just touch on this because I know we're way over what we said. Myself and Random Bloke had a wee game of X-Wing tabletop miniature game on the old what'd you call it? Tabletop simulator.
No.
And it was great. It was really good.
Have fun.
It was great fun. Really good fun.
Nice.
We've been saying we were going to do it for a while, and last night I was going to play Star Citizen on stream, and first of all, Twitch wasn't working, so we couldn't connect to Twitch.
Everyone had a nightmare on Twitch, didn't they?
Finally got on, and then I couldn't connect to Star Citizen for some reason. While other people could, I don't know what was going on.
Oh no,
an issue with me. So Random was in the chat, and I'd asked him earlier on, and he'd said, "No, I don't think I'll be able to be there in time," and all that. And so when that happened, we both kind of went, "Well, we could always just do what we're going to do," and we did. We just fired it up and just dived in and kind of tried to remember the rules as we went. And it was
that's nice.
Really good fun. It was really good fun. Tabletop Simulator is great. Everybody knows that it's great. Anybody that uses it. And it was just nice to play X-Wing again because I've not played that actual physical X-Wing in ages. And it was great fun. It's good.
Awesome. I don't even played much in the sense that I've only been kind of focusing on one thing. So I keep talking about it, but I've been playing Yakuza. So I managed to get through Yakuza 0, Yakuza 1, Kiwami, and Yakuza Kiwami. Yeah, I'm borked. And Yakuza Kiwami 2. And it's really interesting. So, as I said before, I think Yakuza 0 came out in 2015, like 10 years after the original game came out. And it was sort of like let's look into the backstory of these characters. And then, while doing that, they remade 1 and they remade 2 and like the current engine, so it looked beautiful and stuff. So I finished 2. The story of 2 is wild. Again, I was an emotional mess by the end of it. You get really invested in like finishing this story. The combat was fun. Oh, it was so good. And then you start Yakuza 3 and it looks like a PSD game, and you're like, and it controls like a PSD game, and I was a bit like, I don't know if I can do this.
Oh no.
Just because I'd had 0, 1, and 2 looking and playing really smoothly like a modern game. But I've persevered, I've been going through it, and it's so weird. Like, the story's nuts. I don't know how every time you start a new game, the story's just like, what? Like, and basically in this, so the first 0, 1, and 2 all take place in Kamurocho, and another part, is it? I can't remember the name of the place, but it's kind of like parts of Tokyo that are dark and dangerous. And then 3, you're mainly based in Okinawa, which is like an island town. So it's like a total different vibe, but you're still beating people up and they're still Yakuza.
Wow.
But the character's been, he's tried to step back from this Yakuza life and he's been drawn back in. So this one's set in 2009. So 0 takes place in 1989. And then 1 starts in 1995 and then time jumps to 2005.
Right, okay.
And then 2 takes place in 2006 and then 3 takes place in 2009. So the great thing is you're getting to see this city develop over 25 years so far. So in the 80s, everyone's dead 80s and there's like all these different buildings. Then you go back in 1995, it's a wee bit different. Then in 2005, it's totally different. There's a new building. And I think that's why I love it, because you start to really care about the location. And they're just the characters. So
nice.
It's very smart. They're very, very good. And they're just lots of fun. So again, highly recommend them. Yakuza 6 is on sale for a $5 just now as well. Uh-oh. And everything else is in PlayStation Plus. So 0 to 5 are all free.
Excellent. Is it all on Game Pass as well? No?
I think it all went to Game Pass as well, yeah. And Like a Dragon, Yakuza Like a Dragon went to PlayStation Plus.
Right, okay.
A month or 2 ago. So I managed to get that for free. And as we were saying on stream the other night, they're all changing their name to Like a Dragon because that's the name in Japan. It was never called Yakuza there.
Right,
so
aye.
Resident Evil Biohazard thing. The other game I started, if you love cozy games like Stardew Valley and Disney Dreamlight, is Potion Permit, where you play a little chemist, and he's sent from the big city to this little island, and because the mayor's daughter's sick, and when you get there, everyone's like, oh, we don't trust the chemist from the capital. Gasp! And you're like, oh no, what's happened? And basically, it's you go into the forest and you forage ingredients, you make potions and heal them, and bond with the townspeople and improve the town. And it's real. It's one of those games where you just kind of play and lose time and do cute little side quests and stuff.
Okay.
The one part where I think it's trumping Stardew Valley for me is there's like a storyline. Stardew is fine, but Stardew is just like plonk around be a farmer. And this one, there's like a storyline because you're trying to uncover what happened before, and you're trying to heal the world from the chemist who destroyed bits of it before you. But they've all got their little daily lives, and you can give them gifts. And every morning, your wee alarm goes. There's someone in the clinic, and then you've got to do wee side games to diagnose them. So one of them's like a Simon Says. You've got to remember the button inputs. One of them's like a rhythm game. One of them you've got like you've got to dodge moving blips, and then it goes, oh, they've got thrush, and then you go to your wee cauldron and you make a thrush. You make a wee potion, and you go back and give them it, and that builds the community's trust and stuff. So it's really clever. It's lots of fun.
Nice.
I'm having fun with that, and that just came out last Thursday.
Okay.
So it's like 15 quid in PlayStation, maybe 17, 18 in Steam. But it's, if you like kind of nice little chill games to toddle away at, that's one for people.
Nice, man, nice.
The viewers have been playing some games. Evil Monkey says, what game do you think Colin NM is most looking forward to not playing while changing diapers all the time?
100% God of War.
Oh gosh.
It's most looking forward to not playing.
And you know, it can't even be like, boy.
I can, it's true.
Yeah, but girl. Toby B298 says, surprised myself by enjoying Deathloop. Bethesda always have god-awful clunky first-person shooter controls, but the loop mechanic and story has gotten me over that pretty quickly. Agreed in all parts. Deathloop's really good. Story strong.
I've still not played it.
FPS is janky, but it kind of works. It's good. I need to finish it, but as a game, I think I need to just sit and play for 2 days and get done.
Right, okay, aye.
If you step back and go back in, you're like, what was I doing? Where was I doing? What the control? What's this loop thing? But no, it's very fun. It's very fun. Jericho Pliskin, SD Gundam Battle Alliance, and Hockey.
Oh, yes.
Hamster Boy. I've been playing Mario Golf Super Rush. Excellent fun. Okay. And Jose Keenan says FIFA. Well, kinda.
Jose, the nightmare of a time. He came on the stream on Tuesday. Oh no, Monday night. It was Monday night, and he was asking if everything's all right for me because he was getting disconnected constantly. He could play for so long and he get disconnected.
Oh no! But
he tried to play me, and funnily enough, when I scored against him, he get disconnected. So you know,
sus. It's a bit sus.
But he figured out what's going on. Him and his son share the EA account, which meant they could essentially use like the same Ultimate Team and things like that.
Right.
But because it's crossplay now, it's obviously clamped down that because people will be exploiting it.
Aye.
So I think that's the reason. So every time one of them would log on, the other one would get cut off. I think that was the problem.
How very 90s try to use the phone while the modem's operating.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh, I'm glad they figured it out.
Indeed. So you can just beat me legitimately now.
Aye, he's like, I cracked it. Yes, please, if for next week you want to tell us what you've been playing, or not next week, the week after, or what you were playing 20 years ago, here's a reminder of the contact details.
We'd love to hear from you. Find us on Facebook as The Nearly Men, Twitter and Instagram, where we are at Nearly Men, or email info@thenearlymen.com.
Right.
Blunder just done a Cotland.
I thought I was in time.
No, just a wee bit.
I like, can't even see my face.
I know, just an empty box.
I'm a ghost. Ooh. Ooh, that's Halloween. Okay, here's on the releases. September 29th, you can get From Space on PC, Switch, and Stadia. Pathfinder, Wrath of the Righteous on Xbox consoles, Sony consoles, and Switch. And Valkyrie Elysium on PC and PS4 5. September 30th, Blade Assault on Xbox consoles, Sony consoles, and Switch. FIFA 23 on everything, even the Stadia. You can play that for 4 months.
You can go home, you can play for 4 months, and then we'll take it away.
You get FIFA 23 Legacy Edition in the Switch because it's a potato. You can get Lemon Cake on Xbox, PlayStation, Switch. And Paw Patrol Grand Prix on PlayStation, PC, Xbox consoles, Sony consoles, Switch, Stadia. I feel like everything's coming out in the Stadia now. I've never seen Stadia.
It's blossoming. It's
blossoming, Blunder. Just coming out our prime. October 4th, Overwatch 2 on PC, Xbox consoles, PlayStation consoles, and Switch.
Now he's interested.
No, I mean, that's going to blow people's Switches up.
Well, I might be doing the whole streaming thing that Switch has been doing.
Oh gosh, I don't think that there'll be many Switch players. It's like trying to play Dead by Daylight and Switch.
It's a kind of half and half thing the Switch does, is it not? It kind of half streams it and half uses the resources. Don't know
that's interesting. That's clearly they'll want the money. And Dakar Desert Rally on PC, Xbox consoles, and PlayStation consoles. October 7th, Chaos Head Noah on Switch. Chef Life, a restaurant simulator on PC, Xbox consoles, and PlayStation consoles and Switch. And No Man's Sky on Switch.
Yep.
Didn't expect to see that. That totally caught me by surprise. October 11th, No More Heroes 3. Gasp, didn't know that was coming out. On PC, Xbox consoles, and PlayStation consoles. October 13th, The Eternal Cylinder on PC, Xbox, SNX, and PS5. And Words Generations on PC, Xbox consoles, PlayStation consoles, and Switch. And then October 14th, Taiko Nai Tatsuji Rhythm Festival.
Very good.
That's why I'm the host this week, isn't it?
Yeah.
Dragon Ball The Breakers on PC, Xbox consoles, PlayStation consoles, and Switch. And Saint Kotar on Xbox consoles, PlayStation consoles, and Switch. And that is your games for the next 2 weeks.
Beautiful. Beautifully put, Mr. Ghost.
Woo!
So just to give you a point of reference, if you're just listening with audio, Blunder's cam's broken, so he's now no longer on screen. So it's just me talking to an empty box.
Yeah, my OBS, like, all my screens started flickering and went dark for a second. I was like, oh no. And then it came back up, but Discord was just like a random bunch of boxes. And then OBS is like, I shut OBS and when I try to open it, it's like, I'm already running. I'm like, no.
OBS.
Paul Kaczynski, any news from chat?
Just a couple of wee points. We were talking earlier about what games were we playing 20 years ago. Original Steven said the same games I play now. Too true. And Evil Monkey dropped it in the chat when we were talking about Stadia getting in the bin. He says the Logitech handheld, which is causing a storm, by the way,
really?
is a code for $50 off if you use September 22 USD. That makes it $250 pre-order US Trump bucks.
But there was an interesting article, and it was like everyone's making the new PlayStation Vita except Sony.
This is true. This is very true.
But I think, as I was saying the other week, I think that's because Sony are shifting back to focusing on the Japanese studios and mobile gaming, and they'll just do stuff. I don't know if they'll do another handheld console, but I think they're going to focus on the home market a bit more.
Right, okay, yeah. Very good.
Yes. Any streams coming up, Mr. K?
When am I? It's next time I'll be on is Sunday, all going well. Yeah. We would change to next week. I can't stream on Monday or Tuesday. So I maybe need to work something else around. I'll be on Monday evening, but not during the day.
Nice. I'd make a part-timer joke, but after being on my channel for the donkeys. I'm like, I really should stream.
Too busy being
it's been very busy the past couple of weeks, and I just stay tired. And I always think I like to just I like to be chill and try and have a good time. And if I'm tired, I'm grumpy, and no one needs that in an evening. So
you get Blunder Palpatine, the hood
I
up.
the hood up and the grumbling and then I get annoyed at games and start shouting, and it's just I'm very Palpatine as a teenager. It's just not pretty. But October's coming up, and October's Halloween month, so I should get some scary streams in. Hopefully in preparation, because at the end of October the Resident Evil 8 DLC's out, and I've never actually streamed Resident Evil 8 on Twitch.
Oh no, you didn't. You went in Discord, didn't you?
Yeah, and then I started my Resident Evil rerun, and then I ran out of stamina because I'm old. And actually the thing that scuppered it is I forgot a cable in school, and I kept forgetting it for my joypad for my PlayStation to play PS2 games, and I was just like, I've lost the mojo. I was right in the rhythm, and that cable's scuppered it.
Oh man,
I got it back now.
Yeah, baby.
I do. Well, that was great. That was a good episode.
Thanks, Blunder. You were a very good host.
I know. Thank you. You were a very good chatter.
You could speak. You could speak after all.
And you know what? We still ran late.
I know.
We were like, we'll keep it tight.
That was my fault.
But you know, it was a very good. It was a very good detailed half review of FIFA.
Well, if there's one game I can talk about, it's FIFA.
I know. You're going to do a Colin and Nearly Men length review when you get that thing done.
Hour and a half.
Just a spoiler cast of FIFA 23. I don't know what you'd spoil, but I mean, you could
spoil all the football.
Aye. Like the ball gets kicked.
Don't blunder.
Yes.
Starting off already.
Sometimes the ball gets saved from hitting the net.
Stop using the gold now. Save us some good stuff.
But this was episode 116. This episode of the podcast was brought to you by executive producer Hamster Boy.
He was doing so well, wasn't he? He was doing so well.
Shh, don't put it. It's too bad. Bad enough my face broke. Our next episode will be live here on Twitch, twitch.tv/TheNearlyMen. Come join us live, say some funny things in the chat. That'll be episode 117, 8 p.m. on the 13th of October.
October, gee.
I know, this year has flown by.
Right, it has that.
Flown by.
Has that.
Any parting words, Paul Kaczynski?
Make sure your fly's up.
Wow. And I'll just go with my good old Charger Joy pads. See you next time, folks. Bye.
Bye.